Okay, everybody. So I want to introduce you guys to your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty approved vendor. So today we have Angie Tang from First American Title Insurance, Sandy Franco representing the First American Home Warranty, and we have Richard Granados and James Junaidy representing Prodigy Insurance. Now, Prodigy Insurance is underwritten by First American PNC. So Angie, let's start with you, Angie. Can you give an overview as to just a big picture idea? Why should we work with you guys?
Okay, sounds good. So First American, we have a way to bundle everything together. So if they use the three of us, myself as title, use Sandy from Home Warranty, and use Prodigy, we have a combined rate of the discounted, well, it's a bundled rate, so the discount comes from the Prodigy. So it becomes 10% off the Prodigy of the home insurance. Title stays the same, Home Warranty stays the same, but because you're using the two of us, then your Prodigy is going to be discounted at 10%. So that's a huge savings. Because if not, you wouldn't have the 10%. And there'll be other things that are coming, initiatives coming up soon, but nothing is released yet. So as soon as it does get released, we'll let you know. But for the time being, at least you can get the bundled rate of using the three of us for First American, and you save 10% on Prodigy, which is the home insurance for the client. And that's a huge thing for them because any little discount is good for them. More money they make by getting more business. So we're going to work on the volume side of things, and Prodigy is one of our alliances now. So it's a great way to bundle everything and explain to your clients why it's so important, because they can save an extra 10% where they wouldn't be anywhere else. So that's why we're here. If you don't know what title insurance is, we're here to insure the transaction from the resale of the seller's property to the buyers. So when you sell the property from the buyers, from the sellers to the buyers, we're ensuring that the buyers are going to be protected. So it's a great selling point, especially if you're representing the buyers, because now you get Prodigy discounted for them. So if you do the three of us, you get that discounted rate and the best insurance possible, because First American, with 135 years in existence, policies stay true. We're one of the most competitive in the cream of the crop title companies, and there's only like about maybe a handful of us, about maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of us or so. So we're always in 1 and 2, and we're rated at AAs. So we're a very good company, a very secure company. And then Sandy, she handles the home warranty sector. Sandy, would you like to talk about home warranty?
Sure, I'll
Angie,
talk about that.
before we switch to home warranty, Angie, what is your website?
Titlebyang.com.
Titlebyang.com.
Yes.
And just want to make sure it's up so everybody can see. And what's your cell phone numbers?
626. There it is. 663942880. My email listed on the website is aatang@firstam.com, aatang@firstam.com. But you can also reach me at titlebyang@gmail.com, titlebyang@gmail.com. So title, what we do to help protect the homeowners and the as well. Just making sure that everything, all the liens and judgments are taken care of, that there's not going to be any pending issues at the close of escrow, and we make sure that your clients are going to be protected and secure.
Awesome. And we'll come back to you later on, but let's move to home warranty. What is home warranty, Sandy?
Home warranty is a residential service contract that is generally paid for by the seller to protect the new buyer, their major systems and appliances that should fail due to normal wear and tear. So home warranties help the new buyers control their budget when these unexpected items should fail and either need repair or need replacement. It protects your sellers from lawsuits. Escrow closes, 2 days later, the water heater breaks. Home warranty is going to help take care of that. Without the home warranty, you've got a very upset buyer who's going to think, wow, that wasn't disclosed, and I'm going to go after the seller. So the home warranty helps really limit lawsuits that happen after the close of escrow, completely helps the buyer with their budget for maintaining their new home. And it's a win-win for your home sold guaranteed in a couple of different ways. The one is the First American, we're industry leader with over almost 40 years in the home warranty industry. But we also partnered with your E&O insurance about 15 years ago to provide perks for the agents who make sure that they signify that they want a First American CRES, C-R-E-S, home warranty. And that way it's deductible protection for the agent, should God forbid there be a lawsuit, the deductible for the agent goes to zero, which is way better than $5,000. And if you're the listing agent, it protects your seller with up to $50,000 of legal assistance should the buyer decide to sue them after the close of escrow. So it's a win-win-win working with First American, Cress, and your Home Sold Guaranteed. And then I'm going to let Richard and James talk a little about what they do, and then we're going to circle back and talk a little bit about how home warranty and homeowners insurance can work together on certain systems that can fail in the house.
Okay, I'm Richard Granados. I'm with Prodigy Property Insurance. Thank you for allowing us to give you just a few insights. The homeowners insurance basically covers the dwelling in case of natural disasters such as fire, heavy rain, and a natural disaster to the property. Earthquake is excluded on the policy, so it's one of the things that you have to buy separately. But the thing with the First American is with the new home buyer and also the discounts with the title gives the insured a much better discount rate. One of the things that we really like to focus on is that we do home condos, but as well as the homeowners policy with First American, we can convert that particular policy into various types of coverages. It looks like James has given me an information to go over. You see the fire, and that's the fire disaster that we're going. But I wanted to share with you that working with Prodigy Property Insurance, we have access to First American quote system. We can get an adequate quote. We can offer various types of replacement costs up to 250%, as well as optional deductibles that can help fluctuate the price on the insurance as well as the exposure. We can fluctuate a little bit on the property insurance if you want to do that. We can do also a 50% or 60% of coverage A with the dwelling, but we look at all the angles for what's best going to cover the applicant and make sure that they get the quality insurance or replacement cost. James, you want to?
So Richard, I just want to make sure if I'm the buyers, right? If I'm the buyers, I'm working with First American Title Insurance. Angie is going to help me with the title insurance on my, and then Sandy Franco is going to help me with the home warranty, right? 13 months home warranty on my new home. And then if I get the insurance from you, Prodigy Property Insurance, you will give a 10% discount. And this is the only way we can do this is through, is that how it works, Richard?
Yeah, that's how it works. Basically, that's how we'll get that discount taken off on the annual policy. And also the homeowners insurance, they do also provide credits for security alarm systems as well as items that protect the home. So say upgraded roofs, systems have been updated like the plumbing, electrical, and the roof. All these are really good ways to find discounts for the insured to keep the premium down. So we want to make sure that you're aware of this and that we want to make sure that we have access to this product that can get you that discount and save your and client money on their insurance and making sure that their home is protected at the replacement cost. We will work with the escrow company to make sure that they get a copy of the evidence of insurance and make sure that the information is correct, because we have access directly to it, the rating program with First American. So those are the values that we have, and we would be the exclusive agency that would be handling your client's needs for that insurance. James, you have anything?
Okay, let's have an open mic here. Sandy, home warranty. So if I'm the agents, right, you are talking to the agents, and I'm going to make this available on YouTube online for our clients. So if you're speaking to a first-time home buyers or home buyers, basically, can you have an open discussion between what is the difference between home warranty, property casualty insurance, and title insurance? Like, what is all this?
Right, it's all super confusing to everyone who doesn't do this every day, but it's super simple to us. So your home warranty covers your systems and appliances that fail. Okay, water heaters, air conditioners, dishwashers, refrigerators, ceiling fans, stuff like that. So if it fails during normal wear and tear, we fix it or we replace it. So let's go down a path here. Homeowner moves in, brand new homeowner, put everything they had into this house. 2 days after escrow closes, they move in and they wake up in the morning and their water heater has dumped 50 gallons of water from the closet all throughout the downstairs. Fantastic. That's just how you want to wake up 2 days after you've closed escrow. So they're going to panic and they're going to call their agent. That's the first thing they're going to do. And their agent's going to remind them they have a First American home warranty and to call me right away. But the home warranty and homeowners insurance will work together on this only in very specific cases. The home warranty will take care of the water heater itself, the actual physical replacement of the water heater. But we don't handle floors, drywall, paint, damage. Secondary damages are never covered by your home warranty. And in some cases, and this is one of them, if it's sudden and unexpected and it just happened, it was not prolonged, it wasn't a lot, that's what water heaters do. Your homeowner's insurance can step in and help with those secondary damages that the home warranty won't do. So in some cases, your home warranty and your homeowner's insurance do work hand in hand. And in some cases they don't. If you have a long-term leak and it's a leak that they can tell is long-term based on the damage that it's caused, there's rust buildup or the drywall is soaked too much for something that could be very quickly, that's not something that your homeowner's insurance is going to be able to help too much with because it's a maintenance problem and it wasn't sudden and unexpected. And the home warranty, again, will take care of the issue, the actual physical mechanical breakdown, the water heater that's broken, the pipe that is leaking, but never any secondary damage. That's why it's super important to have a relationship with your homeowner's insurance so that you can call the guys and say, is this covered? You know, call them on their cell phone so you don't have to, you know, filing claims and stuff. And they can guide you down the right path and let you know what is and isn't covered by your homeowner's insurance, even though part of it may be covered by your home warranty.
With the insurance aspect, we are not going to cover the wear and tear of the equipment, but we will indemnify the insured for the water damage to the property, to the structure, to the personal property, as well as loss of use coverage if they have to move out of that location and rent space because it's not safe to live there. So we're going to look at those kind of issues, and that's why it's so important that we work with the First American warranty as well as titles to make sure that we are in sync, to make sure that the client is getting the best instructions of taking care of that loss, so that way they're indemnified, meaning that they're paid back before that loss ever happened to their particular state.
So on my turn?
Yes.
Yeah, well, what is the insurance title? Like if I'm buying a house, Angie, why do I need a title insurance? Like I'm buying it all cash.
Okay, title insurance is the biggest insurance coverage you'll ever get for a monetary fee of a one-time insurance coverage. It's not like all other customary insurances where it's monthly paid out or monthly paid. But for First American title insurance, we only charge a one-time fee at the close of escrow. And what we ensure is that you're getting the property exactly as it is. That there isn't going to be any liens and judgments from the seller. There isn't going to be any unforeseen easements on the property or problems with your map, with track map, so the legal description of your property. We make sure that the transfer of your home is going to be secure and safe. So there can be different things like different heirs that might say that they have a portion of that real estate, but they don't. There can be fraudulent activity that's done on the property and there isn't. So it's actually the most expensive coverage for the least amount of exposure. So exposure meaning not very many people know what title insurance is. It's one of the greatest insurances that you can buy because ultimately it's ensuring that you own that home and you own that home rightfully and you own that home without any liens and judgments. And that is the most important insurance for the least amount of expenditure because you're only spending a one-time fee versus it being paid out every month like other insurances like car insurance or health insurance. So that's why it's a very important role that we take place. We do all the full checkup, the background checkup of the home, make sure everything is nice and tidy, make sure everything's just taken care of, that if there's any list pendants or any legal actions that's on the property, that doesn't carry over and transfer over to the buyer. There's things that can happen with the property nowadays with fraud being on a rise and the economy changing the way it is changing so quickly. So all of these things make a big difference when you're doing title insurance. And that's the greatest thing that I can explain to bring you knowledge of what title insurance is and what we do for the customers. So whenever there is a claim on title, we actually hire attorneys to help and defend you. So that's another aspect from First American. And what we do is we always hire the best attorneys to help our buyers. Even if it's all cash, you still have to buy title insurance. There are two types of title insurance policies. The first policy is for the homeowner's policy, and the second one is for the lender's policy. Customarily, the seller pays for the buyer, and the buyer pays for the lender. If it's an all-cash transaction, there will be, it's not necessary to get a lender's policy because there's no lender involved, but there will still be a homeowner's insurance, which buyers will be getting that from the homeowners. Hope that sums it up for you guys. We are here to insure your property, whether it be title insurance, home warranty, or property and casualty. And you get a better rate with First American. You save 10% on the Prodigy side and the home, the property and casualty side.
Okay, let's end the session by telling stories, you guys, because as you know, if I'm buying my first house, and if I'm the real estate agent, I'm understand. It helps me to understand if you tell me stories, and I know you guys have a lot of stories. So why don't you? Let's start with Sandy, and then we just go around the room here. Share 1, 2, or 3. No more than 3. 1,
No
2,
more than
or
3.
3. Real life, Sandy.
300.
Real life stories.
Real life stories. It's almost always right after they move in, you know, and they've poured everything into their house, and they wake up and they don't have hot water, right? It happens all the time. So it's a simple phone call. Home warranty is kind of like title. We don't ask for a monthly fee. You pay the one-time fee. They pay a service fee to the technician that pays for his time. He'll come out, he'll fix it, or he'll replace it. Water heaters, people get a little fussy when they don't have hot water, so we expedite those as quickly as we can. The other, I could tell you stories all day long on air conditioners, but those are not usually as fun. So let's talk about like garbage disposals. Remember, home warranty has to be normal wear and tear. Your garbage disposal doesn't work. Okay, we'll send someone out. I had someone who had a marble in their garbage disposal, what broke it. That's not normal wear and tear. It might not be uncommon, but it's not normal wear and tear. So that's not covered by your home warranty. So you have to understand that the failures have to be not caused by normal wear and tear. The failures cannot be caused by physical force, vandalism, or not normal wear and tear. I just had a poor guy who had a sewage backup, and they cleaned the line out, and then they found out he had a break in the line, but it wasn't covered because the break was caused by whoever lived there was flushing things down the toilet that should not be flushed down the toilet. And after time, it broke the line in the yard. So we paid to snake it, but then we found the break in the yard, and he was on his own.
Who was that?
My dog is protecting me. Hold on. But the most common ones are your water heaters, your air conditioners, and those are the ones where you really need to make sure you call me and make sure I stay on top of those, because if they can take too long, your clients can get a little fussy, and we don't want that to happen. And that's where the relationship really comes super important. You have to call me right away, let me know the claim is placed, or have me place the claim so I can follow it and make sure that it goes through the normal procedures. There's nothing more important than that.
Awesome. What about you, Richard or Angie? Tell us some real life stories about the role of property insurance.
I think the biggest concern, Rudy, with the new homeowners is some of the natural disasters that happens. Heavy rains come on the roof, water sinks into the roof, into the area of the home, and damages walls and the floors. And usually under your homeowner's insurance company, you're going to be covered for those because that's a natural disaster, and they'll take up the structure of repairing the roof, their personal property that was damaged, and any interior items that needed to be repaired. The second one would be, I had a client that he had a service line from the city pipe to his house, and the pipe busted and broke his lines through his front yard and up to the front of his living room, and damaged water into his living room as well as some of his landscaping. Because he had a service line coverage, they picked up that coverage for him and repaired his structure of his living room that was damaged by water. He paid for the personal property after his deductible, and he was indemnified back before he ever had that loss. So those are the things that we're looking at in regards to homeowners insurance, is structural damage because of a natural loss, a natural occurrence. We see a lot of fires that start in the household, either through something gets sparks and it catches furniture. Of course, fire is covered under a named peril, and that would pay the repairs and the cost of the personal property to a home and make sure that they rebuild that structure that's damaged. Also, it would pay for any kind of living expense if they have to live away from the house in order to keep the house safe, livable. So those are very important things to know on home insurance, is to get you back before that loss and to indemnify those particular losses. One of the things also could happen is if particular home is damaged and it's basically roped off, it could be vandalized or malicious mischief done to it. So that is covered also on your homeowner's insurance. So those things are really important, and I think that working with Prodigy Property Insurance, we will evaluate all those, and working with the First American Home Warranty, make sure we reciprocate there, and also the title company. So, James, are you there? If you want to add anything?
Yeah, well, just a quick example. We just also had a, damage on one of our clients due to wildfire, and the siding was burnt off. And then, so they called me and they asked me if there's any way that we can help them. And lo and behold, they're, as long as they paid the first deductible, whatever the house happens to be $1,000 deductible, so he just needs to pay the $1,000 deductible, and then the rest of it, I think the total damage costs about $6,000, for the $6,000 to $10,000, if I'm not mistaken. So the first $1,000 was covered by the insurance. So it does cover by so natural disasters, those kind of thing, due to wildfire, those are covered except for flood.
Awesome. And I know Angie, I've been working with Angie for over a decade here. Angie have a lot of horror stories. So Angie, you only have limit to no more than 3, okay? Can you share 1, 2, or 3 stories about why the role of title insurance is extremely important, like real life stories?
Okay, no, these are real life stories. These actually were my files. So the one that I love the most is the one that I'm not sure if you remember, if I've told you before, Rudy, but because we've worked together for so long. My favorite one is when the investor had bought a property as an investment property. I forget where he bought it from, but it was like $350,000 or $400,000. He bought that property. It was cash flowing. Everything was going well. He had it for 3 years, and all of a sudden he started getting bills in the mail saying that the property was foreclosing. And the mail, he got 3 different letters from 3 different lenders saying that they're going to foreclose on his property. And he looked at these bills and he's like, this isn't even my name. My name isn't even on these envelopes. I don't know who this belongs to, but this property definitely belongs to me. So of course, what does he do first? He calls his title. He doesn't call his title. He calls his real estate agent, who then calls his title agent, which would be me. Calls his realtor, says, hey, I don't know what's happening, but I'm getting these letters saying that my property is being foreclosed on. I don't understand what's going on. So of course the realtor calls me and I take a look at it, bring it to our claims department. Our claims department reviews it and finds out that during the time that they were in escrow to buy this investment property, there was this thing called a loan scheming, where I think of it as a black hole. There isn't a time frame during this. There is a time frame when the county recorder doesn't show, or there's no activity shown as to what is being recorded. And so during that time frame, during the black hole era, which is a short period of time, these loan schemers took out 3 different loans on that property. And I don't know how they closed on it, but they ended up closing on that transaction because those claims came to First American. And what did we do? We hired the best attorneys to represent the buyer, who was the investor, and we fought for the property, and we ended up paying for. So how title insurance works is however much you bought the property for, which at this scenario, for this investor, he bought it for $350,000 or $400,000, which would equate to about $1,500, a one-time fee for title insurance. And what we would pay out is the $350,000 or $400,000, whatever he bought the property for. So we issued a check, gave it to the investor, and said, hey, Mr. Investor, this is what we owe you because there's these 3 now open deeds of trust that are foreclosing for $700,000. So the investor says, okay, well, thank you, but I don't understand, why are you only paying me $350,000 or $400,000? So business-wise, First American is only entitled to pay that amount of money because his policy was for the sale amount of the property at the time. It's not market value time, it's at the time, which would have been 350 or 400,000. But since the investor was a good investor of ours and underwriting in our claims department decided that his claim to keeping that property, because what he was saying that he wanted to do was to keep that property, and that it wasn't his fault that, you know, for the last 3 years he's owned this property, it's been cash flowing, market value now is probably a lot more than 350 or 400,000, that he should be entitled to keep his property. So what First American did, which isn't really what they were what they had to do, because all they needed to pay out was the 350, 400, they ended up paying off the 700,000 in open deeds of trust that were fraudulently attached to the property, and they let the investor keep their cash flowing investment, which was amazing because that never happens in the insurance world, for one. And the reason why I say that is think of it as your life insurance. If you buy a life insurance policy for $500,000, when you pass away 50 years from the time that you bought that life insurance policy, your life insurance policy is still going to be $500,000. It's not going to be $1 million. So that's one of the things that I love this story, because First American went above and beyond to pay for a claim that they didn't have to pay $700,000 for, when all they really needed to pay out was $350,000 to $400,000. That is my one-time story that happened to one of my clients, who I was teaching a class, and they said, I've never had claims for title insurance. And 3 weeks later, he calls me with this story, or with this problem. And ultimately, we were able to help clear that file and close it. And the investor is happy because he got to keep his cash flowing investment. And First American had to go and fight the 700,000 on the back end with our attorneys. So that's my favorite story. If you can understand the power of title insurance, that is a very powerful story to live by and to keep in mind when you're thinking about title insurance. The other thing you want to understand about title insurance is not all title companies are the same. The reason why is because in having enough claim reserves is a huge thing. If you don't have enough claim reserves, how in the world are you going to pay out the claims? If you're a small title, if a company doesn't have the claim reserves, let's just say for this last story that I explained, if they didn't have $700,000, what do you think they would have done? If they didn't have $350,000, what do you think they would have done? So that's why it's vital to get an insurance company and to work with companies that have a large amount of reserves to make sure that we can pay out when the time comes. So that's why we're here together, the three of us, because we're part of the First American group, and First American has abundant of money. That's why we work for them.
Awesome, you guys. Hey, thank you for sharing, for educating our clients here and also the agents. Anything else you guys want to add, or we should wrap it up?
Just thank you for the opportunity that we could be able to give you the information that will benefit your clients, and hopefully that we'll perform to our excellent level of expertise, and wish you all well.
And take advantage of our rates. When the three of us work together, you save money. So
Yeah.
Not only get the expertise, you not only get the coverage, but you also get a discounted on your PNC portion of it. Take
All right,
advantage.
so awesome. So let's end that by your cell phone number, Sandy. Can you slowly Sandy, just do your quick intro, your contact info so people can write it down. Save it
Sandy Franco.
On your cell phone.
Sandy Franco, First American Home Warranty, 626-348-3046.
Hello, Richard Granados, Prodigy Property Insurance, 626-215-4438. My email is richard@prodigypropertyinsurance.com. Thank you again for allowing me to share with you the importance.
Oh, sorry, Richard.
It's okay.
Are
Go
you
ahead.
done? Okay. And I'm Angie Tang, First American Title. My cell phone number is 626-394-2882. Again, that number is 626-394-2882. My email is titleByAngie@gmail.com, titleByAngie@gmail.com, or atang@firstam.com. Thank you, guys. Great to have you.
Thank
The
you
other
so
thing
much,
is,
everybody.
yeah.
See you on the next class.